Hi, welcome to Advanced Legal Research A. Now I'm going to presume that you've already had a look at the video in the Dissertation A unit, which gives you a bit of a background on the honours program and an overview of how each of the different subjects work together. If you haven't done that yet, go and have a look at that now, and we'll proceed on the understanding that you know what you're in for in the legal research subject. Legal research is really about legal problem solving. While sometimes when we think of research, we might think of it as something of an esoteric subject, as something that's more theoretical, in truth, research's primary function is to solve problems. Now that might have a theoretical aspect, and as we will see in this term, theory can certainly be part of the tool set that we bring to bear when solving a problem. But this is essentially a very practical process which is really focusing on finding solutions to problems, opening up multiple solutions, perhaps looking at different options. And one thing that we will be doing this term that you may not have done in legal research before is looking at interdisciplinary aspects. So the black letter law solutions will only take us so far, and sometimes we have to look to other disciplines to provide us with guidance and to give us ideas as to how to solve those difficult, wicked problems where law and society meet. So this subject is really about equipping you with those skills that you need going forward. It's about having a look at what you can do now, having a look at what you need to know, and then setting some clear objectives as to what we'll do along the way. Now there are several things that this subject does, and it has a particular place in the honours program. First of all, it supports the Dissertation A subject. The idea is that you'll be working with a supervisor and your mentor on your individual dissertation, and this subject will provide a framework for helping you understand and break that problem down into a project that you can manage in smaller parts. And in fact, this subject provides a weekly stage-by-stage approach to getting in and solving a problem. Now, you don't have to exactly follow the week-to-week schedule, but the idea is we've broken it down into a series of 10 or 12 neatly divided parts that will help you along the way, that will provide stages or milestones towards that. So that's the first thing we're doing here, is to actually provide a framework for helping you complete the dissertation, which of course is the very heart of your honours program. But we'll be doing other things. We'll be looking at advanced legal skills, and we'll be looking at ways that we can develop and cultivate those skills. There's various readings about legal reasoning and legal knowledge, and those will help us to understand law at a higher level than we do at undergraduate level, where we're very much focused on what the law is. We're now much more focused on why, and understanding the different ways that legal reasoning is different from other forms of reasoning and other disciplinary ways of approaching a problem. And most serious problems, of course, are going to require an interdisciplinary response. Issue like domestic violence is not going to the world is not going to change just because we change the laws. It requires a response from a variety of different perspectives. And what we will be equipping you to do, we won't be equipping you to be an interdisciplinary researcher as such. We won't, make you a psychologist as well as a lawyer, but we'll equip you to understand the way that different disciplines approach problems and to collaborate and cooperate with those as well. The other thing we'll do in this subject is we'll develop a learning community that will be the backbone of the honours program. You'll be by yourself in your other subjects, your dissertation subjects and your project subjects, although your project subject you might want to work in a team on that one, and that's fine as well. But largely your work in the honours program is fairly solitary. So the two legal research subjects, A and B, are really there for you to have a space to interact with your peers, to engage in discussion, and to actually build that learning community around the particular projects. And that community is going to be very important going forward in your career as well, because the people that you interact with now are likely to be the people who you will bump into throughout the rest of your career, and the people who will be able to help you out later on as well. You will also see, as we look at the materials that we've created, that each of the areas of research knowledge or problem-solving knowledge is divided into 5 colour-coded levels. And the reason we've done this is we're trying to develop a set of resources that are available that will help people with legal problems at various different levels. So level A, the first level, is purely for novices, and it's to introduce the key concepts in the area. Think of it more like a Wikipedia style introduction to the particular topic of that week. Level B is the next level up, and it is the kind of knowledge that first year law students are going to require, the things you need to know to get started in your law studies. Level C, the next level, is the kind of knowledge that's aimed at the second year students who will be doing the legal research subject as a core subject, and that level is kind of the knowledge that we expect. If you've attained that level, that'll be the sort of knowledge that we expect that law graduates should have. Level D is the level we're on now. That's the honours students level. And level E is more advanced things that don't necessarily fit into any of those other categories, but perhaps might be more relevant for a PhD student. So the idea of this levelling process is to provide a sense of continuity, the idea that these topics are important and you will learn different ways of approaching it in increasing complexity throughout your studies. It's also designed so that if you are wanting to read ahead, you can read ahead in the further levels in each particular area to try and assist you with those skills as well. So you'll see more of this as we come, and this is of course a resource which is being developed at the moment, and there'll be more and more added to it as we go. But the idea here is that we're actually going to provide a set of learning resources that are going to be useful for everyone, and you'll be able to locate where you're at that particular level, and you'll be able to, by the end of this course or by the end of your honours program, be assured that you will be operating at level D of the research skills level. All right, on to the assessment. That's what everyone wants to know about, of course. The assessment in this subject is divided into two parts. The larger part, where 70%, is a portfolio, and that's where you will include all the exercises that you do from week to week, that will be the stages and the milestones that will underpin your dissertation. And you will also include a 1 or 2 page reflection at the end of this that will be an opportunity for you to look back and to say, this is where I started, this is where I've come, but also to look forward and to say, well, and these are the sorts of things that I want to know going forward. And that will be extremely useful when we come to Advanced Legal Research B, because we can actually start addressing some of those concerns you might have in the next subject. And we can, if you something you really want to know about, we can create some learning materials and resources that will help you on your way. There is, of course, much more detailed descriptions of how this works in your course materials. The other piece of assessment, a 30% piece of assessment, is the peer engagement assessment. And this is an amalgamation of your contribution to the learning community. And that can happen in synchronous ways at the weekly Zoom sessions, but it will also happen in the asynchronous mode. And a major part of this will be the Perusall learning tool. There'll be a separate video on that. We'll explain how Perusall works, but suffice to say, it's a bit like a combination of a Kindle and a social network. All your reading materials, your weekly tasks, and everything else will be provided via Perusall, and you can read them. You can read them online or print them out, either way. But while you're online, you can annotate those materials. You can ask questions. You can answer other people's questions. You can start discussion topics. You can post comments. And one of the neat things about Perusall is it keeps track of who's been contributing throughout the term. So I fully understand that not everyone can make all the Zoom sessions every week, and it can often be, at least in larger subjects, difficult to have your voice heard. In honours, we have a much smaller number of people in any case. But what Perusall does is it provides you with a way of engaging and being involved in the program and staying up to date, whatever your time frame is. Even if you're working in sort of strange shift work environments, you'll be able to regularly get into the materials in Perusall, make comments, annotations, and be involved in the community. And as far as the tangible part of this peer engagement assessment, you're also going to be required to do some peer feedback for a colleague on their dissertation. Not on the final piece, but on one of the stages along the way. And you'll be able to provide that written feedback to the peer and also to us as part of this assessment item. So it is a more amorphous assessment item, this one, and a lot of it's depending on your ability to regularly get involved and so on. But you are all a very motivated and committed group of people, or you wouldn't be doing honours. So I don't have any real concerns that you folks won't all be achieving pretty well, pretty good grades in the engagement component. We'll talk about it a little later, but it's certainly there to provide you with, I guess, a motivation to stay involved and a reason, apart from all the other very good reasons, to make sure that on a regular basis you're getting back in, you're looking at the materials, you're posting comments, you're asking questions, and you're staying engaged in your subject matter. Okay, and probably the last thing I wanted to mention is that communication process, which I've already, I guess, covered part of in that last piece. Most of our communication in this subject will probably be asynchronous, and it'll probably be via the Perusall tool. We have the forums on Moodle that are available to us. I'm not sure if they're going to be useful to us or not. I'm going to wait and see how that works out during the term. It may be that all your questions will be relevant directly to something in Perusall anyway. Even if it's on assessment, you could post a question on the unit outline in the assessment question. You can post it straight on the document. So I'm not sure that the Moodle forums are going to be much use to us, but I'm prepared to see how we go on that. Of course, the other form of asynchronous communication we'll use a lot is email, back and forth. No one likes email, but feel free to email me at any point about topics. I might send you back to Perusall to share your concerns with the group so we can all talk about it. But by all means, email me about any questions you have. We will have a weekly Zoom session, a 2-hour session for the entire honours program. We won't have one for each subject. We'll have one where we deal with all our concerns in one place. And I will be there. The other unit coordinators will be there. Some of your supervisors, your dissertation supervisors, may wish to attend as well. And we will decide on what is the best night of the week when we have a look at what everyone's timetables are like. So that will work. I'm sure you're familiar with the Zoom workshop format that we've used at CQ in the past, and that will be an opportunity to discuss things live. The other thing is I'm available in very flexible times to just have a chat via Zoom or on the phone. So please don't be shy about calling me and arranging a time to have a discussion. So plenty of things to start thinking about. Have a look at the materials, have a bit of a look at the overview of what we're doing this term, and start thinking about how each of those different aspects of research that we're going to be investigating might give you a different lens to look at your dissertation problem through, and a different way of thinking about legal problem solving.